my loves, your related girl from Runaway, where we have culture, conversation, and community. And in today's video, I'm coming to you all with some very quick content, okay, and commentary on Miss Kim Burrell, y'all. So if you don't know who Kim Burrell is, girl, that's fine. It is all good in the hood, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't know a Kim Burrell song. I don't know one Kim Burrell song. What I do know is, like in the black church community, the gospel community, she is, well respected, renowned, and all of the things. I know she gets ate up every couple of weeks, every couple of months. I know she said some things in the past about women wearing stockings and twerking. And of course, naturally, she's said some disparaging things about the LGBTQ community. Now, I know she came on my radar, scrolling on the TikTok, scrolling on the Twitter, when she was called out by a contestant on Sunday's Best. It was a young man, I may or may not insert a clip.
Can I say something? Kim Burrell, yes. I want to let y'all know this. I think it is very rude and disrespectful for y'all to be up here laughing like that, because I use my rent money and everything, and for y'all to be sitting up here disrespectful like that and laughing, that is so wrong.
And in this clip, basically, the young man calls out Kim Burrell for being rude. He done, flew out, spent his rent money to come here, and she is laughing during his performance. And she had said, well, listen, honey, I had already made my decision when I heard you sing, and tried to justify her inappropriate and rude behavior by saying we are in relationship and I'm having a conversation, which is beside the point. She tried to use her status and position of power to justify her poor actions. Girl, Donnie McClurkin tried to jump in. He don't know. I'm gonna try to be respectful, okay? Donnie McClurkin jumped in and was just like, no, wait a minute, brother, wait a minute, because we're trying to, but he and the young man stood on what he said. He said, listen, I don't want to hear nothing you have to say, okay? Because what you doing is wrong. Yolanda, I love you. Kiki, I love you. And Kim Burrell is wrong. Now, having not watched Sunday's Best since who knows when, child, when, whatever. I agree with that man completely. And I instantly recognized Kim Burrell as a mean lady, a mean person. If you've grown up in the church or had any type of experiences in the church growing up as a black kid, it was always one usher, one lady, somebody who was in the church, and she was mean as hell. Okay, it's always one mean lady in the church, and she's in the Sunday school. It's somewhere, and everybody has a problem with her, or maybe the kids or whatever. And Kim Burrell instantly reminded me of that type of woman, because there was no way that she had to be rude to that man in that way. Fast forward, child, she is booked, okay, which is interesting to say the least when we're talking about a Christian affair, a convocation, whatever whatever they was having, girl, a repass, a rebirth, I don't know. And before she started to sing, girl, she goes off on a tangent and is pretty much saying offensive things. I'll play it here.
We have to do an interview. How long have you been broke? How many times have you changed your name on your light bill? How many of your bills in your little cousin's name? Do you live in a trailer home or a house? You understand?
Child, I am appalled. I am baffled. I'm not surprised, though. Are we surprised, y'all? Are we surprised that these so-called, women of faith, women of the cloth, the anointed ones, are out here with these disparaging comments, unprovoked, unsolicited, before you're supposed to be going into the ministry of gospel? Oh, I'll shut up right now, y'all. I'll sing. And it's just her, the way how comfortable she was in saying this and doing this. And, you know, she said, I was doing this in jest, which we're going to get into her apology for in a second. But it is the amount of presence that she has behind what she's saying, as if it's like, you know, yeah. And another thing, you know, she's just very comfortable. She is very comfortable with being unchecked. And it shows, because in the back you hear woo, no one's like, no one's saying anything. I know for sure if I invited someone to speak and I knew that my congregation made up of people who were, let's just say, living below poverty line, which is most Americans, especially black people, especially people right now in this economy. You want to talk about people, specifically, more importantly, black people, having you know, conversations about how long you been broke. How long have you been broke? Broke is relative. Shit, she's broke to someone, you know, right now. And it's not like, you know, she's not saying it like, oh, you know, just for the average, you know, average, regular. Like, you know, she is specifically targeting an audience who, one, will give their last to the church. We know that. And then two, you know, it's almost like dangling the meat in a starving person's face, because most people are giving to the church and they don't necessarily have, because they feel like it's their, you know, the godly thing to do. I have to, you know, tithe an author, or, you know, give my tithes, or whatever the case may be. And then to circle back and say, yeah, I know, you know, I'm not super expensive to book. You know, I'm sure you got some more of that PPP loan, which your girls on Twitter done drug all the receipts all the way to the front, and we see that she also had a piece of that PPP loan for $20,000. Ma'am, the same people that are living in trailer parks are the same one that's giving the money to the churches that are paying your booking fees. Which I find it odd that churches are paying for these so-called celebrity gospel artists to come. The only time that they should be coming for an appearance or whatever the case, or being okay with paying for a ticket, is if we're at an arena. Okay? If we are at an arena with concert dates, this is a traveling show, and I'm just so happen to be in your city tonight. That's all that's it. I never understood how gospel artists can't separate, this is what I'm doing as my duty, as what I would like to do as a Christian, versus this is what I'm doing as an artist. Right? So there's this separation of, I'm here and you're there, because how long you been poor? How long you been broke? How long you living in a trailer park? And not for nothing, y'all. In today's economy, be glad and be grateful for whatever you have. And I'm not saying this as a holier than thou Christian woman or anything, as a person, you know, who's out here, who's not tone deaf, who's living it for real. She lives in this bubble of fake Christian wealth or whatever the case, and she's, you know, rubbing shoulders with Creflo Dollar and Yolanda Adams and D.D. Jakes, right? Who recently just came on and said some crazy stuff that I had me second guessing and thinking like, what? Not coming out the Potter's house. And let's be clear here, we all know that these people are humans. You know, and I'm saying it because C.D. Jakes is a powerful, anointed man. We all, you know, like, let's call a thing a thing. But what he said about women needing to shrink themselves and climbing the corporate ladders and not creating like, girl, where are these people living at? And what time era? And what time zone? And then to people, like, again, for her to call out people who were living in a trailer park, there are so many people who live in trailer parks. And if you have to live in a trailer park because that's what you like, do it. If you're living in a trailer park because you inherited a trailer, good for you. You get what I'm saying? If you are there now and you aspire to live differently, that's fine too. But she was so wrong and so out of line to try to condemn and like, mark it as, oh, it's something that's below and beneath. You can be in a trailer home and living more comfortable than you are in a house you can't afford, or in a situation that's unhealthy. Okay, you can be in a trailer park and more spiritually blessed and gifted than if you were to be in a situation where you're not in alignment, in a mansion, unhealthy and unhappy. Okay, so I just want to speak to that quickly, girl. If you are in a situation and you feel away, don't. Stop putting so much regard onto the people who represent the church that go unchecked, who are toxic. This lady been toxic. This lady been out here saying things and dragging things and doing things. But girl, let's get into the statement she released, because this didn't make no sense. Actually, no, I'm not even going to get all into it. She basically apologized, okay? And with the apology, she just said, "Oh, I was saying it in jest, and I didn't mean it, and this, that, and the third." And at the same time, the people who are reporting it, you need to be worried about. You need to be worried about, getting a cease and desist, and as a kingdom citizen and as a woman of integrity, like, girl. And then it was the lack of accountability. Some of my words may have hurt people. And then they circle back around with threats. And I can remember there being so much politics involved in the small local Baptist church that I attended. And these women get in positions, these men pull the strings, and it's all messy, and kids are watching. Like, I don't know about Sister Brenda, right? And it leaves people with a bad taste in their mouth. And if getting souls to Christ is a goal or a mission of yours, child, y'all failing miserably. And I'm not gonna go all crazy, because I know it's a couple of saints and I know it's a couple of sinners, y'all, and I'm somewhere in between. But what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. We're going to call a thing. And like black people aren't a monolith, neither is the black church. But, however, the black church does represent a huge population and a huge part of our culture. Right? There needs to be some accountability. There needs to be some public reckoning, public awakening. Right? Because if you can be disrespectful in public, then it needs to happen in public. So let's get into the most recent video, child. This is her second apology video that this Miss Kim Burrell has since posted. Now, when I realized she had the 3-point lighting set up, I knew she was about to carry on. And carry on is what she did, y'all. Let's get into this right here.
Hello, everybody. This is Kim Burrell. I'm sorry. I mean it. I mean that. Not from the letter, from my heart. I released a letter 2 days ago. It did not convey right at all. And I must tell you this. It was from an attorney that asked me to do it, because the latter part, y'all know I know, it was offensive. It should have been. It was not my intent for it to be, but it was her wording to say they need to be aware because of the person you are and that. I said, nah. My friends called me and said, no, there are still people who are hurt from the part of them that they love about you. Come back. That's not the only reason I came back, because I still said, come on, but they didn't feel my heart. I came back because I do love you. This ain't about dates. This ain't about keeping my career. This is about keeping the love real. I love you guys so much. And I'm really, truly sorry. I did not want to hurt you. I don't want to hurt you. I don't plan on hurting you. And I pray that you will heal from this. I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. I love you. Wait and see. I do.
Wait and see. Okay? Wait and see. I am sorry. I am sorry. Girl, she sat up here and with her 3-point lighting and tried to make that serious statement like that. Looking a fool. Looking a mess. Looking a mess, Kim Burrell, because you sat up here and said, yeah, well, I released a letter and it just didn't convey right. It didn't convey right because it wasn't right, sis. Then you go on to pass the buck off to your lawyer, which whom is you know, I don't want to say an employee of yours, but you have her on a retainer, right? And she can't force you or make you release a statement. Where's the publicist? Okay, where's your team to say, hey, this is still missing the mark, right? And then you go on to say, it's the love. This has nothing to do with the dates. This has nothing to do with the tour. Now, and you want to sit up here. And then what's so interesting is she has on this shirt. The shirt says millions, billions, or trillions or something like that. And I don't know if it was like, you know, she's still, you know, kicking us down, you know what I mean? Because she's a rich black Christian singer with her, you know, fineries and diamonds dripping all over her that she can just, you know, put it all in our face. Or if it's just one of those things where, you know, she's still exposing herself. Okay? It's just about a coin, like she said. You know, maybe y'all church can have a little extra of that PPP loan so I can get it and put it in my pocket. You feel what I mean? So now that, you know, she's all exposed, I mean, because let's keep it real, she's been exposed herself. But it's getting real because, again, she offended a large portion of her supporters, of her followers. You know, and then like, let me just take this a step back. Oh, if you got your cousin name, you know, on the water bill, on the light bill, why is it that, and then here's where I have the biggest issue with like these, you know, Kojic Christians and things of that nature, because they so heavily align with white Republicans, pick yourself up from the bootstrap type of thing, because it doesn't address the capitalist society, the oppressive capitalist society that we live in. The bigger question is, why are these people having to resort to putting, you know, the bills and the names? These are the choices. These are choices in a system that is oppressive, sis. I mean, had you not had a little in your voice, ain't no telling what your big nasties would have been, because Kim Burrell, looking at what it was looking like, you might want to take a step back. And call it like it is, mama. And listen, y'all, I don't take you know, I don't feel good in having to discuss things when it comes to black women, especially the church, because let me tell y'all something. I do not want to offend y'all. I grew up, you know, with the religious, you know, with religious people around me on both sides. One side is Christian, one side is Muslim, okay? And I'm saying it lightly, but just to put it into perspective that, you know, black people take religion very seriously. And I feel like with this new age and this new wave of people who they're like, oh, people are leaving the church. A lot of young people and people in general are leaving the churches because of stuff like this. And when things like this happen, it goes unchecked. It's swept under the rug. Right? You want to come up here with a millions, billions, and trillion shirt on talking about something. I didn't mean it. You did. That's why it was so easy and it was so comfortable. You almost got too comfortable on it. And, you know, some will say, you know, it takes a big person to apologize twice. You know, when your back is up against the wall, you'll do anything to stay afloat. She's a capitalist. She's just saving face. But she didn't do anything that was off brand. Being nasty, condescending, dismissive. All of those things is her brand. And the Christian people who align with her needs to be side-eyed and checked as well. Because essentially you're saying that I stand with you and your nastiness. Okay? So, girl, Kim Burrell, when I watched that video last night, y'all, I was in the bed rolling. I was hollering. Believe me, I do. I'm sorry. Girl, she forcing it. She pressing it. She should have just hopped on Instagram live somewhere where it was good natural lighting, where she didn't even have the decency to show us her eyes. Why is she in these sunglasses? Why can't we even see her? Kim? We can't even see her face. You don't even want to do. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that video where Michael Jackson was like, well, come on, Mike, we got to talk about the tour. And he was like, oh, I hate touring. Oh, I hate it. And then he goes back on and is like, oh, I love to tour. Okay? It's giving that. Anyways, I want to know what you all think. Okay? Drop down in the comments. I mean, I'm never for trying to bash and thrash, but something needs to happen. And her little second apology with her passing the buck off to her lawyer and saying that, you know, it was against her better judgment, and you know, and it wasn't until her friends had to say something like, yeah, it's still not enough. Why didn't you know it wasn't enough? First of all, why'd you even say it? But then why did you know you hurt people and you need to fix it? Why'd you have to hear from other people? She's just very telling. Her team is trash. She's trash. I would have enjoyed a live video with her, you know, talking about some of the things that she said in the past, and not just for these statements, for things that she's done in the past. She got to stand in it and own up to it. You know what I would love to see, y'all? And now I'm just rambling. Iyanla and Kim Burrell, baby, she needs an intervention, because she is on her way. She is on her way to hell with gasoline draws on. And I hate to use the word draws, but y'all know what I mean. All right. I want to know what you guys think about this. Drop down in the comments. Let me know that y'all think if you feel like she's genuine. I don't. But I'm curious to know how many of us believe her. And what should we do to, you know, what would be justifiable? Because it's almost like damn if you do, damn if you don't. But she's maybe the first person in popular culture who set out a statement and then had to apologize twice, because it ain't enough. Okay, make sure you like this video, drop down in the comments and let me know what you all think. Okay, I'll be looking in the comments. As always, I'm sending you much love and much light, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.